You are tuning into the Goldilocks Productions presentation of the Angels and Healing Light Show. Sit back, relax, and be open to receive the angelic messages and healing channeled through your host, Laura Romeiro.
Oh, good morning, everyone. It's so nice to be back. I missed you all last week and very happy to be back today. So good morning, one and all. This is Laura Romeiro. I'm your angel intuitive, angel reader, healer, spiritual healer, Reiki master teacher, and I am here to bring you messages and healing light from the angels and from the celestial realm and from the divine that surrounds us all the time. So I'm here to help you connect with your angels, to help you heal, and to help you find your way in this very sometimes confusing world of ours, but also to help you share the blessings that you receive with others to help them find their way. So welcome back. I have a lovely guest. One of my favorite ladies in the whole wide world is Joanne Leo. She's joining us again this morning. But first, before I get into that, a couple of announcements, a little bit of information. This weekend is the Sarasota Mystic Fair that's located at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium. It is this is the 9th year, and it will be the first time I'll be an angel reader at this, my first time there. But please visit. It's both Saturday and Sunday, July 27th and 28th. There's usually a great crowd that comes here, lots of good vibrations. We have free lecturers, psychics, healers, some vendors with unique and very hard to find items all under one roof. And a lot of the vendors carry some healing tools and artwork that's one of a kind. So there's definitely something for everyone. They are asking that you bring a non-perishable food item for our local food banks. So please, there's a door prize that supports the local charities as well. So what's beautiful about this is there's something bright, light, healing for everybody. I think it's $10 will let you in for the entire weekend and $7 for one-day admission. If you're 12 and under, you're free. So please join us. We've got the wonderful Carol Ann Carey's going to be there. Joanne Leo's going to be there, and many other wonderful readers and healers. And one more thing. Good morning to my mom, Renee. Everybody say hi, Renee. And now I'd like to talk about and welcome my guest, Joanne Leo. Joanne is a return guest here on my show. She has been very gracious to come back and join me. She has also heard many times on Carol Ann Carey's show, the Psychic Medium of Sarasota, Jimmy Mack show. This is all here on Goldilocks, trying to say Goldie Lights Productions. You can tell it's in my mind this morning. Lots of light and hopefully a little bit of brain matter. So Goldilocks Productions. And so I welcome back Joanne Leo, wonderful woman, amazing psychic, numerologist, all around, talented, intelligent, and very wise woman. So welcome back, Joanne. Thanks for being with us all today.
Good morning, Laura. What a wonderful introduction, my darling.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
How's life treating you, lady?
Well, good. Busy, and busy. So I'm looking forward to this weekend, gearing myself up to meeting a lot of new folks and a lot of regulars that come every single year. So it'll be fun.
You know, when you kind of develop a really nice relationship with our readies, I guess you could say, but when you spend time and they share some of their most personal and intimate details with you, you kind of become part of their life in a small way. And so when you see them again, it's like seeing an old friend, and especially when they greet you with a big smile and are able to tell you that things are going well or they have some beautiful news to share. But it's such a nice connection to make, and it's always like a long lost friend when you see them again at these shows.
It's true. It's very true, and wonderful positive energy. Also, one guest, and I know you know her too. Myrna's going to be there too, reading poems.
Myrna's
okay.
Delightful. Myrna Lou.
Yeah. Myrna Goldwall.
Beautiful.
And she's really excellent. So if anybody,
yes, she is. I've had a reading by her.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Joanne, you do beautiful readings of the heart, readings with a heart and of the heart, I'd say. But the motto for your psychic readings is readings with a heart. And I know that with your spiritual gifts, the work that you have done has changed your views of life and death and the things that occur in our lives. And, you know, we all go through ups and downs. We all go through learning periods. And sometimes it seems like it takes a while to really understand what has happened or why it's happened. But can you perhaps share some of the insight that you've gained through all of your spiritual gifts and work? What sort of, you know, maybe a lesson that you have learned or some guiding words for our listeners?
Well, I'll share with you. I don't think I ever did this on or spoke about this on any of the other shows, but my journey started in 1978, and it was serendipitous. I'm sure everybody's heard of Louise Hay, right?
Of course, yeah.
And in 1978, I met my first spiritual teacher, and it was a wow factor. And I guess being a Leo, it's got to be a wow for me, but it's serendipitous, excuse me. And she introduced me to Florence Scovel Shin. I'm not sure if you know her work, but Louise Hay and I studied Shin at the same time. And I was much younger than Louise Hay. But for all intents and purposes, Louise Hay took the Shin material and just really embellished it, brought it out to the world, expanded on it. So really, to be honest with you, I'm a Shin baby. Louise Hay's a Shin baby. And this is really going to kind of blow the listeners' minds that The Game of Life and How to Play It was written in 1926.
Oh, my goodness.
So, Shin's material is The Game of Life and How to Play It, which Louise Hay has changed it to how you can heal your life with Shin principles and expand it onward. And in her journey of learning, because my gift has changed over the years as well, or expanded, as some people would say. Then there's the power of the spoken word, the secret door to success. And when you get into the Shin books, you're going to see the foundation that Louise Hay took and ran with. Mm-hmm. So I would encourage people, I walk, talk, and breathe Shin. And therefore, I'm a big Louise Hay fan when I do life coaching as well. So that's a little insight for today.
So people can gain a lot of insight, a lot of positive insight and ways to grow spiritually, grow in their personal lives and their professional lives, and a lot of, so much positivity. I know is what Louise always expressed in using positive phrases and words and ideas and thoughts rather than negative or fear or, coming from a mindset of lack. And so you're seeing that focusing beautiful. And I'm going to have to research her because I keep hearing her name. And so when that name keeps coming up over and over again, and let's just say right now this book is almost 100 years old, and it's still relevant. I can't say now more than ever because I wasn't there in the past, and I know when it was written that the country was going through some extraordinarily difficult times, and so let's just say it's still very current, that focusing forward and focusing on what we have. And Joanne, what's really interesting, I can't wait to hear what our readers and what your messages for them are today, because last time, and I've heard this on Carol Ann's show, we seem to get people that are kind of going through the same thing at the same time, kind of a collective consciousness all reaching out. And a lot of people just seem to be going through the same thing at the same time. And when I sent out my angel message yesterday, it was a message from Archangel Michael, and it was about staying focused and staying clear and kind of being in charge of your own life, but rather than, you want to go forward full speed ahead, but you need to, slow down and get your things in a row so that you're definitely going in the right way. Well, I got two more messages that were along the same lines yesterday. One was from our wonderful producer, Tiffany White, Sage Woman, who shared a message of that nature, and also one from James Van Prague. So they came from via email, actually, but from all different, from different spiritual professions and insights, but they all kind of focused on the same thing, and it was making sure that you're kind of focused on what you want and asking for it. So I love when that sort of thing happens, and I can't wait to hear what we get today.
Well, it's really interesting. When I did Carol Ann's show with some of the callers, it was so unique on how I was looking at the same numbers, different birthdays, totally different, but they were under the same influence. So you're absolutely right. It's funny how they come in groups or clumps or whatever. Like even when we do an expo, it is wild because of the different people and the message that has to be almost like you say, collective, or that they're going through maybe a little different spin on it, but kind of the essence of the confusion or clarity that they need, or a kind of a leg up, so to speak, or a pat on the back, or a really kind of a little kick in the tushy too. So.
Yes, we all need a kick in the tushy sometimes, don't we? That's well done. And I'm going to take a caller here in just a minute, but I wanted to tell you and ask you about this, Joanne. You're amazing with numbers. I don't know how you do it, but you are really amazing with numbers. And so just for the heck of it, I don't know, for those of you, the reason I wasn't here last week is because I closed on my house, our home that had been for sale. For a while, we closed on it last Tuesday. What a blessing. And just out of, I don't know why, my husband just said, why don't you add all these numbers up and see what they come up to? Well, all of the figures that, plus our address, all came to the number 9. And, the final sale numbers, our address, everything equaled the number 9. And I remember you saying that I was in a 9 year, which is about change, I think you said. So I wanted to just kind of share that with you. Like, well, I wonder what that means. So what might that mean in your world of numbers?
Well, I channel numerology now. I mean, I'm book trained. I have my master's in it. But about 10 years ago, Spirit took over, so I can't even teach it because it's like a download from heaven, and I just, I can't teach that. I can teach the basics or whatever. But getting back to the 9 energy, and when it's a couple different things because it's always different, like a 9 house or a 9 cycle, or you're in a 9 personal year, which you are, and that's really it's an 18-month deal, to be honest with you. And it really forces a soul to do some, it's like, I guess the best example I could give is, let's say, for instance, people, places, and things, and you put things in an attic for 8 years. Okay, people, places, things, you walk up the steps, you open up the door, and you go, oh my God, how did all this stuff get up here? It's sorting out, it's transformation, it's figuring out. And so it's like when you go into the attic, this is a treasure. These are keepers, as you start working through. This is an I don't know pile. Oh, I got to think about it. And then you have another pile which is totally out. And it's the same thing with life.
I have a
It's
lot
like
of all of those.
Well, you see that each soul goes through that, and sometimes it's an eye-watering experience because it's not always an easy thing, especially when it comes to relationships or different decisions we need to make. Sometimes when people go through this, it's like they'll either move to a different state, they'll change careers or jobs, or there's definitely something going with family dynamics. I mean, some way, somehow, I'll figure it out. But even when I've gone through this 9 energy kind of stuff, first of all, it's a highly spiritual number, but yet by the same token, too, it forces you to kind of get to clear things out or get clearer on your direction. Does that make sense?
Yes, very, very much so. Beautiful.
Now,
thank you for sharing that.
Right, and with this 9 thing with your house and everything, I think I gave you a reading on that. But here's the thing: that was the conclusion. That was wrapping up. That was it was kind of a transformation as well too. So a blessing for the new owner and a blessing for you to be released from that responsibility.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
So moving forward, that's the great thing about transforming, or, I like to compare, this might make more sense to you too, or to the audience. I like to compare a 9-year to like a caterpillar crawling up a stem, and it's about 5-6 inches long, and it goes down to like a half inch, wraps itself in a chrysalis, liquefies, and turns into a beautiful butterfly. So it turns into something totally different. That's the best way I can describe a 9-year.
And I've raised quite a few monarch butterflies, probably 3 or 4 dozen of them over the last couple of years. And let me tell you, it's one of the most beautiful transformations there are. They go through a hard time, but they remain beautiful all of the time. So that's a beautiful, beautiful image. And of course, we all know they come out looking like beautiful, just beautiful beings with sweet souls and soft wings and beautiful colors. So that's a good point that you made, right, that going through transformation is not always easy, but the outcome is usually well worth it.
Right. It usually forces us to look at things differently, change things, accept things. That's, let go, let God is a hard one. It's easy to say, but doing it is another story because you have to have unshakable faith.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Well, how about we take a caller?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, area code 510.
I need their first name and birth date.
Area code 510, my birth date.
My birthday is 6/22, and my name is Tamika.
Spell it for me, please.
Tamika.
Tamika, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, this is really getting things wrapped up and organized or changing the plan. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
And I really feel like, I don't want you to get, yourself all worked up here, but you need to make these changes July, August, and September. And, it's like you got to cut to the cheese here. You got to just do it. Okay?
Yeah.
And get yourself unstuck here and stop doing, the 2 worst things that anybody could entertain is guilt and fear are terrible partners. Okay?
Right.
So know that guilt and fear is not going to help you make your changes. Okay?
Right.
So my message to you, Tamika, is to thy own self be true. Make your decision.
That's what I'm doing.
Move forward and stop doing guilt for other people. Usually guilt is that if you didn't do it, you didn't commit it, you didn't birth it, you did whatever. Let's not do guilt here. You have to do something wrong in order to feel guilty. Mm-hmm. And so I do feel like there's decisions to make. You still got this going on to the end of December, but the summer is when you really need to shake it up here. Okay.
Okay.
All right, honey. I'll leave you with that.
I had a question. Can I ask a question?
Okay.
I want to know about somebody named Raymond. Do you see me meeting Raymond?
Raymond?
In my lifetime?
Did you say?
Yes.
Do you know a Raymond now?
Spiritually, yes. I feel like I'm spiritually connected to someone named Raymond. I want to know, do you see me?
Physically, you don't know a Raymond, correct?
Right. I haven't met a Raymond yet.
I'm not getting that, but
I'm not either.
I'm not getting that. Mm-mm.
No.
Oh. Okay.
So Raymond might be, if you're getting that kind of feeling or whatever, it might be somebody that you need to pray for, or you need to release or whatever. But I'm not getting that in your consciousness here. No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tamika, I'm also getting a message that Archangel Haniel is reminding you that connecting with your angels is far more important and safe for you than to connect with someone that you don't know. So they're reminding you to be very cautious. Okay, and just connect with your angels and ask them to be the filter. So only allowing in anything that's positive for you so that you're not being in the company of something you shouldn't be or isn't really good for you, okay?
Okay.
And they'll know exactly how to handle it.
Okay. Thank you.
Prayers are always welcome. No, thank you. Thanks for calling, Tamika.
Okay, thank you. All right.
You're welcome. And so, ladies and gentlemen, again, this reminder to connect with angels when we're unsure of something is just a way to check in and get advice, get blessings, get guidance, get support, and keep you protected, to keep you enlightened, to keep you healthy. So if you're ever in doubt about anything at all, it's not too small, it's not too big. You can't ask the angels for help too many times. They are a God-given gift to us from the celestial realm. So those celestial angels are always around you. So just ask them for help with everything and anything possible that will help you so that you're not unsure. But also keep them and make them part of your happiness, your growth, your accomplishments as well. And thank you always goes a long way when you receive something. Remember to express your gratitude to God and your angels and all of your guides. That lets them know that you're continuing that connection with them from your heart and from your soul. And that makes an amazing and incredible difference and will bring more blessings to you and to others as well. I can't express that enough. All right. Looks like we have Mr. Nathaniel. Mr. Nathaniel, how are you today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Real good. What's your birthday, Nathaniel?
May 1st, 57.
That's right. You're a May baby too, just like me. All right. Do you have a question for Joanne? Or Joanne, do you just have a message?
Well, I really feel like Nathaniel's been through the 18-month thing, and now he's on a new plane. It's kind of like a new beginning. So I guess what I want to say to Nathaniel is, what did you learn in the last year and a half to move forward or to expand or to uplift?
Well, I guess I guess that's been a lot of hard work, and it's all been, it's all been good.
I feel like you're in a real fortunate cycle right now as far as finances or getting some success into your corner here. That's coming up this summer. And there's definitely some changes or movement or that you're going to make a significant change October, November, and December. Did you have a specific question, Nathaniel?
I wanted to see, what's the best way to make my music be more abundant?
Well, you're in this cycle now that just started in July. And to make it more abundant, well, first of all, you got to bless all your work. And it kind of goes back to what Laura was talking about, too. Angels come when we call them. They're there to help, assist, inspire, move us forward. But I think the thing is here is you got to get outside the box and not be rigid of, well, this is the way to do it or whatever. You need to either expand it to get it out into social media so that if you want your music to be heard, you have to go where the masses are. And it just can't be to a select few or because you're creative and you just have it there, but it's not reaching where you want it to reach. So if you don't know about getting it out into the media as far as social media, then you need to pray for somebody that can inspire you to do that.
Okay.
And Nathaniel, I'm getting a message from Archangel Michael for you. And Archangel Michael is saying that you do not need to, this doesn't need to be an energetic battle. It doesn't need to be a struggle to pull that energy to you. That energy is always around you and it's already with you. So just enter to within your heart in a few minutes of peace and quiet and enter in your heart and allow your heart to open and allow your energy to lift towards God and the divine realm so that you can make connections with the angels and the beautiful Christ-light consciousness and the angels of music, and let them shower you with their light and connect you with their light and help you, and I'm hearing produce music. So they will help you make this happen. And so don't focus on the struggle, but focus on opening your heart and connecting with them, and they will help you make it happen. He's being very adamant, and he's showing me produce in very large words. So if you will take some quiet time and put your hand in theirs, so to speak, they will take your hand and guide you and show you a new side of yourself that will really make things happen and will bring a lot of light. So you're going to do great because you've got the angels that are there to help you and are just waiting. So, all right.
So what you're kind of saying is don't get frustrated. Just kind of get excited and joyous.
Yeah. It's always a struggle. When we're frustrated, then we have to stop and realize that we're hitting a brick wall. There's something that's getting in our way. So since we don't always know what that is, that's when you say, all right, I give up and I'm going to go sit and I'm going to go open my heart and I'm going to find out what it is that I need to do or what I need to not do, and let the angels take it from there. And they're literally taking you by the hand and guiding you. So let them do that. That's Archangel Michael.
Sweet.
All right.
Okay, well, I'll wait. I'll do all that. Thank you so much. All right.
Well, keep in touch. Let us know how things go.
Oh, sure. I moved into a new, beautiful home on the 14th. And,
congratulations.
Yeah, it seems to be really nice.
Good.
So that's
good. That's
part of
a
that
new beginning.
life cycle that she's talking about.
Well, she's good, isn't she?
Oh, she's
all right, my friend.
Okay.
Take care of yourself.
Oh, God bless you. Bye-bye.
God bless you too. Joanne, I am getting the overwhelming urge to ask you to please do a reading for my mom. I told her to raise her hand if she wanted one, but it just keeps coming up over and over again that there's something she needs to hear. And her name is Irene, and her birth date is January the 18th.
January the 18th. Well, she's in a kind of like, if you could visualize a big, scale, and it's
and
all
she's
about
listening now. I
balance.
just want you to know.
Okay, good. It's like a big scale, and when I get the scale of the symbol or the number, it's kind of like I want her to get into the mindset, whatever it is that's on her mind or decision she needs to make, good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me. I know that she's a very sensitive, compassionate person. She's a feeler. She comes across as very strong, but, believe me when I tell you that the woman she's very, very sensitive. She may not always show if she's hurt or disappointed or confused or sad or whatever, because she's a warrior here. But it's all about balance for her. It's like finding that happy balance. When it comes to her well-being or her health, I definitely would look at natural stuff as well as Western medicine too. I don't know if that's an issue for her right now, but that's what I'm getting. But I really feel like she just needs to breathe, and I feel that she needs to really get into that mindset, like I said, good for me, not good for me. Not operating through guilt or because you have to. I don't believe in have tos. There's choices. We can choose to put gas in our car. We don't have to. We can choose to because we want to get from point A to point B. You don't have to go to the grocery store. You can choose to go to the grocery store so you have nutrition and fuel your body. So, I welcome her to find that balance. Does that make sense at all?
Makes perfect sense.
Well,
she's going through a pretty big upheaval right now. She's getting ready to move here to live with me, and it's a pretty big upheaval. So I know there's a lot going on in her mind.
Change is good and change is scary. I think you've heard me say that before. But in the end all be all, it gets back to having that center base of faith. God and the angels know more than we do if we could just tap into it more. Do you understand? Because we get caught up. We get caught up into the dramas of people, places, and things. Okay?
Yeah.
Stepping outside that circle, taking a breath. Is this good for me? Not good for me. Healthy for me? Not healthy for me. Make a decision. It's kind of like to thy own self be true. We're getting back to center. Does that make sense?
Makes great sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very much for that. I feel better now because it was just repeating itself. So thank you. And I guess that's true for all of us, right? We have to stay in balance and remember to weigh things out, things that are good for us or not good for us. And like you say, you can choose which one you want in your life, but sometimes we are going ahead so quickly that we don't realize and we don't pay attention, or we're not aware that maybe something isn't a right fit for us until we're already knee-deep into it and trying to figure out why we don't feel good or something doesn't feel good. And so we need to just be aware and take a minute and breathe and kind of weigh things out to make sure that something is good for you so that you're not stuck wasting time with something that isn't good for you.
Well, I think it comes down to choices, and also when people get into the I have to. That is probably one of the worst spots you can put yourself in. You don't have to.
Oh, yeah, there's no way out.
Right. You don't have to. It's a choice. It's a choice. Good for me, not good for me. Healthy for me, not healthy for me. I think your mom's going to find that she's going to be very happy once the dust is all settled. They tell me. Okay. Yeah, it's she's being stretched in a few different ways, especially when you're putting her life in boxes. Do I keep it? No, I don't keep it. It's that in and out. Oh my God, up and down. One of the hardest things I did was downsize. Oh dear God in heaven. I've been married 50 years, so there's a lot of mementos and stuff, and it's hard. Emotionally, mentally. There's no getting away from it, but it's growth as well too. Just have to choose. Well, not have to, but you can choose to kind of roll with the flow.
Yes, rolling with the flow, just like waves in the ocean. It'll get us there.
Yes.
Thank you for that very much.
You are
well,
so
I have
welcome.
another caller from area code 270. Good morning. May I have your name and your birth date, please?
Good morning. My name is Joy, and my birthday is August 24th, 1980.
All right. Good morning, Joy.
Good morning.
Okay, this is like your power year, Joy. So I know, have you been struggling or having to work super, super hard, or what's going on with you? Because I got that, April, May, and June were kind of tough for you.
Yeah, I have been working hard, and I'm also trying to find the right house to rent. That's kind of been a struggle, too. So
You're trying to find the right what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh, right house to rent.
House, did she say?
Mm-hmm. Yes, the right house to rent.
Okay. Well, I really feel like, let me look at your, a 3, one that was total to a 3 or a 5 would be really good for you. Not one that's a 7, because that's too much solitude for your kind of energy. Okay? A 9 would be kind of a little too heavy for you. I like a 2, a 3, a 5, a 6, okay, would be okay. A 7, a 9, no, not really. So while you're looking at those places, too, take into consideration the number and how that works with you. I do feel like when you get to October, November, December, you're really, truly going to be on a, it's going to be like a new beginning, really taking a different path, getting yourself unstuck. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And, this is just weighing out. Now, have you been going through some emotional stuff, decisions, or personal stuff?
Personal, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like did you hear me speaking about good for me, not good for me, healthy for me, not healthy for me? I really think you really need to get in that mindset. Take it piece by piece, one by one. And, getting back to center of being true to yourself. No have-tos. No guilt.
Right.
See, guilt and fear are two terrible partners. Not a good combination. Because in order to be guilty, you have to do something wrong. So don't be doing guilt for other people, what they want. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And fear will
Joanne,
keep you stuck. So,
Joanne, when you talk about numbers in a house, do you mean, like in numerology where you break the number down, or the last digit on the address, or how do you suggest she approaches that?
Well, I'm doing this psychically with her soul, so I'm reading for her soul. Just what I said doesn't apply to everybody.
Right.
But when, house numbers like, let's say it's 13692, that comes to a 3. So, but I'm basically doing a reading on her soul. what works for her. So I don't want the listeners out there to think, oh, well, let me write that down there because that's got to be for me. No, no, because it's not your birthday. And it's not your name. So it's not your message from heaven. That's where I get my messages from.
So when you're telling her to avoid a 9, that means she, and this is just for Joy, that she would take that address and add all of those numbers together and keep adding them until it's reduced to a single number. And that, so if it comes up to a 9, then that house isn't going to be the best one for her. Is that right?
No. That is correct.
No. Okay. Okay. Got it. Does that make sense, Joy?
But that's not for everybody. Just so I'm clear
here.
Right.
Okay. Because my house was a 9, and it was wonderful. But just for Joy, she's telling you to avoid that particular aspect. Also, Joy, Archangel Zadkiel is coming forward, and he's reminding you that forgiveness of yourself and of other people is very important in making your next steps forward. And opening your heart and healing with love and forgiveness, that's the key to entering into the next level of your life experience and moving forward. So if there's pain that comes up, any challenging memories or feelings that are tied to anything that's happened in the past, there's a reason for that. And the reason is you need to let it go. And until you let it go, that sort of thing will be holding you back and coming up over and over again. So asking Archangel Zadkiel and all of your angels to just open your heart, help you open your heart and breathe and simply let go, to release everything that has given you pain or challenge. Release that into the light, so that you're not carrying it around needlessly. So releasing, forgiving, and letting go. And release that into the light where it will be blessed. And you will be blessed and find that it's easier to move forward into where you want to be and where you should be. So things may feel a little murky right now, but once you start that work of forgiveness and letting yourself be free of that, then your load will be lightened and you'll be able to step forward beautifully and with more ease and grace. And I hope that helps you, dear.
It does. Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's a great message, Joanne. Thank you very much for that. And
right.
looks like I've got here.
To kind of piggyback what you said too, Laura, as a life coach, and I do a lot of life coaching, it's a blessing to be intuitive and a life coach at the same time because you get a little bit of everything with me, just like they get the healing and angel messages from you. But I think the thing is that people or the audience out there can look at, I teach that life is like a book. And so you're going to go through different chapters of your life or experiences or whatever. It's important when, I believe in love, forgiveness, and acceptance, okay? That's a big, huge thing for me. But to get to the love, the forgiveness, and the acceptance, you have to know what lesson it was. If you miss the lesson, then you do, it's a rewind, it's Groundhog Day.
Oh.
Are you with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's not that I want to rain on anybody's parade. It's just identifying. It's like I've been doing this 35 years. I'll give you, nurses are famous for this because what do? They heal, they fix, they band-aid, they teach. Okay, they inspire, whatever, to get well or to heal, right? In their love life, if they're a nurse, they're going to choose a man baby. They're going to choose somebody to fix or heal. So then when the relationship gets exasperated, they go out into the world and they pick the same guy. You hear me? Different hair color, different stature, okay? Same type of person until they learn to love, forgive, and accept themselves with a non-negotiable list.
Beautifully said. And at the beginning, sometimes it takes us quite some time to figure out those sort of things. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen up and pay attention. If you're repeating yourself and it's the Einstein's version of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, if you're getting the same thing over and over again, then please stop and weigh, is something good for you? Is it not good for you? Is it healthy for you? Is it not healthy for you? Are you happy or are you unhappy? So some sense of awareness and asking for that guidance and trusting yourself and trusting God to help you so that you're not making the same mistakes over and over again. Or repeating, I shouldn't say the same mistakes, repeating the same lesson over and over again.
Well, I think another thing, too, because I get down to the basics and call it the way it is, if you aren't your own best friend and you're so accommodating to be nice, to be loving, to do, sacrifice yourself, whatever, or the fixer kind of thing, usually you're going to wind up with boo-boos and be a victim. There's just no getting away from it because you're not true to yourself. There's no school that teaches you how do you become your own best friend. You defend your best friend, right? Or you wouldn't let somebody hurt your best friend, right? Why do you allow that to happen in one's life is what I say to my clients. And then we pick it apart and get to the source. And until you can get to the source, you cannot move forward.
Can't fix it and can't heal it until you can diagnose it.
Understand
Not
it.
easy work sometimes, but but very enlightening when you get to that part. What a relief.
You know what I said to you in the beginning, kind of, Laura? And I truly hope that people know this about me. And you've heard this before because you know me. But I'm a straight shooter reader. I love you. And, if it's a kick in the tushy, it's a kick in the tushy, but you're going to know you're loved the whole time.
That's right. Readings with the heart, for sure.
I have your best interest at heart. Sometimes it's not stuff that we want to just digest, but then to get to the love, forgiveness, and acceptance of oneself, we have to go through the steps.
All right, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. So let's focus on the healing and being happy and being our own best friends. Hey, Joanne, I have another caller. Are you ready to take a call?
I am.
Hot diggity dog. I've got area code 347. Hello, may I have your name and your birth date, please?
Oh, hi. My name is Keisha, and my birth date is 12/26/76.
And you have to spell that for me, sweetheart.
Huh? Spell it. Spell a name.
Yeah. Please.
Kasha. Keisha.
Okay. I didn't want to make any mistakes here, so it's always best to get it clear. You're very smart. You're very strong, but you emotionally. You harm yourself because you're a stuffer. Is that about right?
I'm a what?
You stuff your feelings. You hold your feelings inside.
Yeah.
And you'll wind up with stomach problems if you keep this up. Do you understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see where you are this year. Hold on a sec. So you've got a lot of, I'd say the best word I can use for you this year is flexible. You got a lot of stuff going on that comes up that you're dealing with. It's like I feel like you're putting out a couple fires here and there. Is that true?
Yeah, I guess, yes.
And so, honey, put this on your refrigerator, to thy own self be true, because I know that you're very strong, but people take advantage of you because of your strong. Is that about right?
Yes.
So if it's not yours to handle, here's what I would love for you to do with this cycle that I'm looking at for this year. I want you to give your wisdom give your opinion, because they're going to pull on you to put into the drama. And so I would offer my opinion. I would offer a suggestion. You may want to research this. And you have to finish up with this statement. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Because if you don't do that, they're going to look for you to keep fixing, band-aiding, have the solution, and they're not going to do nothing. You understand?
Yes.
So that's what I really want you to do. I'm sure you'll figure it out. After you've given them ideas or suggestions, or you might want to try this and that, you cannot be everybody's helpmate, rehab center. I mean, aren't you exhausted?
Yes. I am. I need to focus on my own life and my own goals.
They go for the strong
Beautiful.
ones, honey. And they want you to be the fixer. So hear this loud and clear. Fixers always wind up victims. Always. And the people that want you to fix them, they don't listen, and they're not going to change until they figure it out.
Right.
So that's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Keisha. And Keisha, what's interesting, Archangel Michael's message for you is right in line with what Joanne's saying, and it is to step back and observe. So step back and let other people help to start solving their own problems and taking care of their own things, where you can just stay out of it and send love and guidance. So thank you very much for calling. And Joanne, can you please tell everybody how to get in touch with you and how to set up a reading with you?
Well, I work strictly by appointment, so you got to get into the calendar. They can always reach me or text me at 727-743-3400. I also have a web page that they can see my background, and it's Psychic. And it's Joanne, is spelled with an E, JOANNE Leo.com. And I have psychicjoanneleo@gmail.com. So those are the ways they can reach me. They can always reach me by phone or text. It's fine.
All right. So please reach out to Joanne. You've heard a little tiny bit of what she does, but her full readings are really amazing and full of incredible insight. She's just amazing. The information and the guidance and the support, and sometimes a little kick in the tushy that she gives you. So please reach out to her. I know that she can help make things very much easier and clearer for you, and she just does everything with so much love. So reach out to Joanne for a whole reading. And Joanne, I've got time for one more caller before we wrap things up here, because it looks like we got about 8 minutes left. So 941, our hometown of Sarasota here. Hello, who's this, and what's your birth date?
Hey, Laura, it's your buddy Chris. How's it going?
Chris, hi, Chris.
How are you?
Wonderful. It's nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's good to hear you. I'm a big fan of your show. You know that. My birthday is February. Yep, my birthday is February 23rd, 1962. Hi, Joanne.
Hi. Would you say you're a little picky?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Busted.
It's like, you're first of all, you're a great problem solver and all that other stuff because you can find out what's wrong. When it comes to your personal life, you got to switch it up here, honey. You got to look for what's right instead of what's wrong first. Do you understand?
Got it.
Because that's where you're going to get yourself really stuck. Do you understand? And then
totally. Yep.
If you're right on out of the get-go, what's wrong? It might be 3 or 4 things that are wrong, and you miss 100 things that are right.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Totally. Yep. That's me.
I'd say the last year and a half has been real interesting. I would encourage you. What lessons were you to learn in those 18 months So now that you're in this whole brand new 9-year cycle coming up, that what did you learn so that you move forward, or that you don't do Groundhog Day?
Got it. Yeah, I totally get it.
I guess the best thing I can say to you is that your critic is not your friend. Okay, the picky part of you.
Yep.
And so it keeps you stuck, and it's always kicking your tushy.
Yeah,
so
you're absolutely right.
The critic is not a cheerleader, and it's not your BFF. You understand?
Right.
So you really, I hate to use this word, but it's abusive to you because it steals your joy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Spot on.
So I'm a big believer in Shin. I don't know if you heard me from the beginning, but I had to learn to. I'm a survivor, as far as in my mind, or emotional survivor, or however you want to look at it. And I thought that made me positive and strong. Wrongamundo.
Yeah.
Until I learned the Shin principles to walk it, talk it, breathe it, and then I made a promise that if it worked, I'd teach it. And here I am 38 years later, and I'm still teaching. But you have to lead by example. So I would encourage you to, especially this year, this is like a clean slate, baby, of working on yourself and retooling yourself. And hear what I said about the chapters in a book, okay? What did you learn? It's not to do Groundhog Day and repeat the same stuff over and over.
Nobody likes Groundhog Day. Yeah, I totally. You're right on.
But emotionally, hon, it hurts us because it's the same cycle. The faces may change, and it's the same scenario. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yep.
So I really think that you're in a. This is kind of like you need to work from the inside out. That's what Spirit tells me to tell you. I think once you do that, and I would, if I were you, I'd get into some Wayne Dyer and some Shin, and start working on so that you can kill the critic. It was one of the hardest things I ever did in my life, but it was one of the best things I ever did for myself. So the critic doesn't live anymore between my ears. It's abusive.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Thank you, Joanne.
Right. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. And right. I'm so glad you called. And, Chris he's on a very important mission, and that's helping to save animals that have been abandoned or abused. And cows and sheep and pigs. He's got a menagerie. And his husband, Randy, and they're doing beautiful things to help animals, and it's really a labor of love. But Archangel Uriel's message for you, Chris, is to follow that staircase of light, and that is making sure you're elevating your vibration, you're open to your spiritual gifts, and you're following that light going up, up, up. And just keep following that light that they're holding in front of you will help you to open up so much more in your personal life, but as well as your soul's mission of what you're doing now will open up so many more opportunities and realms. So keep following that light, and when you have a hard time seeing it, just ask the angels to show it to you. Just tell them, I can't see the light. I'm just not seeing anything. I need some help here. And keep focusing on that. And, I can just feel a sense of relief right now. As I see you doing that in the future, it'll just bring such a source of relief to you. And Chris, one more thing. I have 1 minute left. I'm just looking at the beautiful, large Archangel Gabriel stained glass angel that your auntie made that you gave me. So it's here in a place of honor. I look at it every day. So thank you, everyone, for listening and for calling. And thank you so much to Joanne Leo for your insight and your wisdom and your guidance and helping us get through life and helping us remember to be our best friends first and remember to take care of ourselves and weigh things that are happy or unhappy. And thank you again, Joanne, so much for being here.
You're so welcome. It's a pleasure, Laura. And keep doing the wonderful work.
thank you, my friend. I'll see you this Saturday and Sunday in Sarasota at the Mystic Fair. Please be there or be square. Next Tuesday, I have the incredible Raven Keys as my guest. Raven is an author and an incredible Reiki master who works in the operating room with Dr. Oz and a lot of other top physicians. And she's here to tell us how we can use Reiki to help our loved ones get through and recover from surgical procedures and so much more. And she has really got an amazing heart. So thank you, Tiffany White Sage Woman, my producer. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, all my listeners. And I will see you next week. Many blessings to each and every one of you. And remember, your angels are always with you, so don't forget to ask them for help at any time. Ciao. Talk to you next week.